What you got? What you guys think? What do you guys think of the game?
I would love to continue this story if possible. I think it's fun.
Yeah, that was fun.
Same character.
Oh yeah, definitely the same characters. I think these guys are fun.
What'd you say, Dani?
I said I liked the system a lot. It was very simple to follow.
Yeah, that's I like the. For me, I like it because it combines a lot of Dungeon World with a lot of Fate and a little bit of World of Darkness, which I like. Because those 2 out of those 3 systems are systems that I thoroughly enjoy. So, and it takes my favorite part of World of Darkness, which is the dice, which is the dot mechanic, and actually puts it into practice, which I really like. Yeah. So if you guys wanted to, let's say just for funsies, let's go ahead and... so Leo, you were the only one who really got to roll dice in a desperate situation today, so you get 1 experience. And so the way experience works is you can either... There's 4 tracks you can put experience on. The first track is your playbook track, which you need... How many is it? So so it's 8 experience points to level up your playbook, and at that point you would get a secondary cutter ability.
Okay.
Or you can put your experience point toward resolve, insight, or prowess, and that will take 6 to level. Yeah.
Okay, so I can't do anything with it right now then, pretty much.
Well, you put 1 point wherever you want, because you basically have to keep track of where you put your points, because once you fill up the XP bar for either the character sheet or prowess, insight, or resolve, you get something. So for insight, prowess, or resolve, you would get a whole extra dot to allocate into one of those 4 skills. And then if you level up your playbook, then you would get another secondary move for your playbook.
Okay.
So you would get that experience point, and then everybody who played in the session gets... So there's like a special thing that each character can get. So, for instance, the cutter says you gain an experience point whenever you address a tough situation with violence. So I think he did that this session, so he gets an experience point for that, I would say.
Yeah.
Right? So that's 2 experience points for Leo. For the Hound special one is... When you... Well, yeah, that's definitely... When you use your cunning to track an opponent. So, you tracking the sniper, that would definitely count. So that's an experience point for you.
Whole experience.
Yep. And then... Let's see, what's the smile get?
Slide.
Yeah, the slide. Max, you get an experience point whenever you try to... use deception or influence on a situation. So, you getting past the guards, well done. Coming up with that brilliant story about being a fucking reporter, well done. So, you would get an experience point, and then Dani, when you try to address a situation first with arcane power, that's all you did.
I was not hitting anything. That was just never going to happen.
Yeah, it happens. So you would get an experience point for that. And then everybody basically gets an experience point if the group feels that they... that they express... Basically, if the group decides that a person did enough good role-playing to warrant an experience point, you get an experience point. So that's up to y'all to decide if y'all think you guys deserve role-playing experience for that.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, this was the first time that I've ever role-played with, like, an actual dice system and not, like, a forum.
Yeah.
So...
I think you did fine. In my opinion, you did well for your first time.
Yeah, I feel like everybody committed to their characters.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so I would say everybody, so it looks like everybody has 2 XP, and then Aaron has 3, because he was the only one who was in a really desperate situation today.
Radical.
I mean, if you consider desperate the fact that like I went a few minutes without ramen.
No, that's not
pretty
desperate. That is not
pretty
desperate.
desperate, man.
Nah, dog.
Nah.
Nah. Yeah, so then you guys would have like, if we were to continue, we would continue the story with you guys hawking the squid. You guys at that point would have downtime, so you guys could start your personal, like, you can do projects, you can heal your trauma and your stress levels, like by indulging in your various vices. You know, so that.
Have they revealed their vices yet? By the way.
I don't think so. I don't think any. Well, I think you did, Mister. I'm addicted to ramen.
No. I have a very weird one. Like I didn't actually reveal it.
Nah.
I feel like mine's kind of obvious too.
No. Here, I'll let you guys all take a guess at what mine is. I will hint that it does involve ramen in some way.
God damn it.
Do you have to bathe in ramen? Is that it?
No. Oh.
Oh.
That was going to be my guess.
I kind of just throw ramen bowls at people.
Alright, that's fair.
Specifically, I aim for, like, genitals just to make it a bit more painful, but if I can't reach it, then I just still hit them no matter what.
Nice. But yeah, that's what you guys would get to do during, like, downtime. Like, you guys, like, if you guys had, like, if you wanted to continue the story of you guys, you know, now being another crew. The other mechanic that we didn't really touch on, because I didn't feel like it was good for this particular story, is that your guys' crew gets its own character sheet based on, like, what type of crew you want to be. So, like, the basic one is, like, a thief crew, but you could also be a...
Shenanigans.
Well, like, there's different types of crews, like, if you wanted to be... I'm looking for it in the PDF right now, hold on. If you wanted to be breakers, where your goal is to go around and basically be anarchists and try to, like, take down society and shit. Then there's a cult. Like, if you guys wanted to be, like, a religious, like, order, for whatever reason, then there's the hawkers, which is basically you guys are vigilantes. If you wanted to play this as more of like a we're trying to like help people type of game, as opposed to like everybody's like a thief.
Okay, I don't think we can do that considering I've already killed 2 people.
Well,
one of which was kind of innocent and like had no way of defending herself.
And then the last one that's in the PDF that they have right now. You guys, by the way, shout out to John Harper. You guys can. If you want, you can get early access to this PDF on drivethrurpg.com. It's $20, gets you the early access copy, and it gets you I believe it gets you the full print release, well, PDF release when it comes out. It was kickstarted successfully. We're just waiting for the full game to actually come out later this year. So shout out to John. But the last group that's in the PDF right now is Smugglers. So that would be like the last crew character sheet that you could get.
Now, can our crew specialize in various kinds of crimes instead of just smuggling or just stealing or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, at that point, yeah, because that would be, like, if you wanted to do a custom crew sheet, you can. Because there's a blank crew sheet in here that if the DM decides, like, you guys want to, like, if you guys were just going to be, like, an all-around, like, criminal syndicate, you know, you could probably do that, too. At that point, you'd start, like, you'd probably, because the thing with the crew character sheets that's really cool is as you do certain missions and heists, you're gaining and losing rep with various factions throughout the city. And so you guys might end up, if you guys are doing like an all-around kind of syndicate, you guys might end up pissing off about like 50 different factions and having them all trying to kill you at the same time. So
sounds fun.
Yeah.
Sounds fun, yeah. Like, are you saying that Kenpachi, Ramasama, and Leo can't be like the dream team of a flailing human being?
Look, there's rules. There's rules in this game. If you want Kenpachi Ramasama to have his soul ripped out and be put into an Iron Man suit, okay? So.
Oh my God!
That's session
Ramen
2.
Man.
Yeah, because there's 3 special playbooks that you guys don't get to use right away. There's the Ghost, which is if your character dies and you want to keep playing it as a ghost, there's rules for it.
I love that idea already.
Then there's the hull. There's the hull, so if you want to have your character's soul ripped out and put into some sort of robotic machine. And then there's the vampire, which is a vampire. So...
I don't believe in that vampire one. That sounds fake to me.
Yeah. Well, hell, there is in Duskfall, there's a rumor that there is a super, super powerful vampire who might actually be the secret underground ruler of the entire city, but nobody knows that for sure. Well, except me, because I read the PDF.
Sounds like a job for the Kenpo crew.
If you guys want to try to go and overthrow the entire underworld and put yourselves in the seats of power, that is more than fine. I'm okay with this. But yeah, any specifically on the system, like for you guys, like what did you guys? Because I know I'm gonna tweet this out to John Harper when it comes out. So any critique? Because by the way, just so you guys are aware, we are only the second actual play of this on YouTube at this point.
Oh my god!
Well, unless a bunch of other people get it up before this goes out, but yeah.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, because if you search Blades in the Dark actual play right now, the only one that comes up is the one that the dev team did for the Kickstarter. Like, they did an actual play during the Kickstarter just to show the rules. And there's none... At least at the time that I was looking this up, like, 2 days ago, there was no other actual plays of this on YouTube.
Nice.
So, if it stays that way, we'll be the second actual play of this on YouTube. So that means the search ratings will be through the roof.
Alright,
but
we're starting a bandwagon.
But so because like I said, this is still an early access game. So is there any critiques that you might have about the system, or any thoughts you have on the system that you'd like to pass on onto the devs or anything like that?
I mean,
I really like. Go ahead.
This being my first RP, I don't think, like, critique-wise, I'm going to be very good, because I don't really have, like, that much experience.
Did you have fun, though?
I had fun, but the thing is that with, like, the 6-die system...
Yeah.
I don't know if... To me, it felt like there wasn't, like, enough, like, lenient room when it came to, like... what's the word that I'm trying to think of?
Well, see, the thing is I'll play off that, because the thing is that in the book it talks about, this is sort of a behind-the-scenes thing for the GM to keep in mind, is you have what are called positions. So if your character is in, like, a position of advantage, then he might succeed and get everything he wants on a 4, depending on how much of a position he's in of advantage. So that's not really ever something that the players know, because that's really that's just something for the DM to know in his head. It's sort of like when he sets the DC of a check in Dungeons and Dragons or something like that.
Okay.
So a lot of times you guys were rolling in situations like for you to get through the guards, like, and you were rolling really well. Like, you were rolling a lot of 6s. So
yeah. By the way, that was pure fucking luck.
yeah, beginner's luck is a real thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. $10 though, that, like, next time I'm gonna have, like, 1s.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I will say that I did like how it combined both a little bit of Dungeon World, a little bit of World of Darkness. I haven't had too much experience with the second game, just because I can't get a good group to sit down and do it.
Yeah.
But it does take aspects of both games I like.
Mm-hmm.
The simplicity of one and the just the variety of the other. So I just really like how it turned out.
Yeah.
So I would say I'd like to actually get my hands on the actual rulebook so I can kind of learn it myself.
Yeah,
but,
definitely.
But for what little I know of it, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. And I mean, like, there's still, like, a couple, like I said, there's a couple of mechanics that we really didn't get into, and I think would come in more into play, like, as you play the longer-term campaign. Like, the whole idea of flashback scenes, I think, are really interesting. Of just the fact that, like, you can, at any point during a heist, you can stop the action and go back and do, like, a really talky scene, like in a movie. I think it's much more cinematic that way. Yeah. If that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I let's go ahead, Dani?
Sorry. I liked how freeform it was. I mean, I definitely felt like similarly with, like, kind of like more like a system of, like, Fate or World of Darkness, where I was able to kind of like, especially like playing a magic user, was able to throw in kind of whatever I could think of. I didn't feel tied down sometimes the way I do like in systems like D&D. So
Yeah.
I really liked how much creative reign it gave you.
Yeah, I like the... For me specifically, I really love the magic system solely because, anybody can use it. Like, if Aaron or Max or even Nicole wanted to try and do an attune roll to do a magical effect, they could. They would pay a little more because their bodies aren't used to doing it, so that their stress level would be higher for a weaker spell. But the idea of, yeah, you can do crazy magical effects, but it's going to take a toll on your body. And so that's the balancing mechanic, is like, you can, like, if you go super hard at the beginning of a heist, you might not have the stress to make it through to the end of the heist. Or you save yourself to, like, do a crazy big effect at the end of the heist to help you guys get away, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, I was definitely running into that, where it was like we were getting like towards the end of the heist, and I was thinking to myself, oh man, if I have to teleport this thing out of here, I'm going to be in so much trouble.
Yeah. Definitely.
It did get interesting, like, at a lot of points, though. I did like that, because I expected the heist to kind of go, like, sneaky more.
Well, and that's the thing, too, is I love how in Dungeon... Like, because it takes this mechanic from Dungeon World, is that when you guys roll badly, you guys might get what you want, but then I get to do... As the DM, I don't ever get to roll dice, so I have to wait for you guys to kind of mess up, quote-unquote, for me to do stuff. And, like, that's, like, having that guy taking the cart and, like, running out. Like, I couldn't, like, I did that solely because Dani rolled a 4. So I was like, okay, well, he's gonna get to do something now that's really cool. And then that turned it into a more action thing as opposed to more of a stealthy thing, because you guys gone in there and were just rolling 6 after 6 after 6, you guys could have probably gotten in and out of there with no problem.
Yeah, but then again, if we rolled nothing but 6s, that wouldn't be really fun, would it?
It would not be as interesting.
Like...
I like the idea that we had to improvise after something messed up. I think that makes it kind of interesting and more free and more, like, fluid.
Yeah, definitely. Well, even still, like, because, like, even if you guys were rolling 6s, there's ways that, because, like, depending on, it's all based on the fiction, so, like, these guys don't have hit points, like, none of the bad guys have hit points, but I can say, like, this guy is, like, a super badass sniper, so even if you were rolling 6s, he could probably still shoot you. Because he's super fucking badass. Like, he probably would deal you, like, a couple points of stress here and there if he was taking a lot of shots, but, like, there was no way, unfortunately for him, she rolled a 6 to shoot him in the face, so there was no way he was getting out of that, even though he was a super badass. She caught him off guard and she shot him in the face. It just made sense for him to die there, you know?
Yeah.
Anything from you, Nicole? Anything that you wanna...
I mean, nothing nobody hasn't said already. I mean, it takes the good parts of World of Darkness and Dungeon World and meshes it really well. When you had first told me about, like, the flashback, I was a little iffy on it, because I wasn't sure, like, how that would work.
Mm-hmm.
As far as, like, at the table, but playing through it, it seems like it would work a lot better, as opposed to what we would normally do, is plan out everything and then do the
right
scene.
Yeah, normally, because especially for a heist, like a heist,
yeah, especially where it's like mostly gonna be doing heists, so it makes sense and makes things go a lot smoother.
It gets to the action faster as opposed to having the entire, because, like, no offense to Max and Aaron, but I think that they're definitely far more interested in the action parts of the game, and having them, especially Aaron, because his character is built solely to punch people in the face. Yeah. Like, if you guys were to have spent 2 hours planning this heist, and then to have it go tits up on you in the first 5 minutes, like, then you would kind of feel like your 2 hours is wasted, right? But with the idea of flashback, like the whole flashback mechanic, you guys can go and do those talky scenes to, like, plan out contingencies and stuff. Now, I didn't mention that those are technically supposed to cost stress as well. Because essentially the idea is like, it costs you stress, like, to... For whatever reason, the game decides that it costs you stress to do a flashback, depending on the level of change you want to make in the fiction. So, like, if you were going to flash back to say, hey, Aaron told Jameson to, like, have the car ready here, right? As opposed to if Aaron did a flashback to say, hey, I actually wanted to have Jameson coming in as, like, a secret guy in the auction, so that way we would have a mole in the building. Both of those things would have been viable as flashback scenes, but one would have cost maybe, like, 1 stress, whereas opposed to one might have cost, like, 4. Because he's changing the fiction that drastically.
Yeah.
Any comment on the setting? I know we didn't really get too heavy into the setting material, but just, like, overall tone and what you guys think of, like, the city that's they're trying to build with this.
I kind of got, like, the feel of, like, Victorian era, like, kind of starting to get into, like, more of a steampunky, but not exactly, like, high-end steampunk. It's more like the beginning of the era.
But did you like what they were going for? Did you like the tone? Did you like the feel of it? Or
I'd like to see more of it before I can make a fair judgment on it myself.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, but I like really immersive storylines, and, like, I don't know how immersive this is, to be honest. Or, like, how much lore is involved with this world.
Yeah, that's the thing is, I mean, since it's still pre-release, so there is some lore, but I think right now a lot of it is really open to GM and player interpretation. Because, like, there's maybe in this 20-page or so PDF that's out for the pre-release, there's maybe, like, 2 or 3 pages that focus on the lore. So a lot of it is really open to player and DM interpretation at this point.
Well, this might sound, like, really weird, but, like, for instance, it felt like it was just... Most of the focus was on high class and low class. It wasn't, like, there wasn't, like, different cultures within the city, which I would like to see.
Yeah, there are. That's the thing is there are in the PDF there are other cultures, but the cultures take a backseat to the idea of, like, the oppression of, like, the lower classes by the upper classes. Like, this is definitely, like, there are other cultures like night market, like you have, like, kind of a gypsy kind of culture. And you can sort of shoehorn in other cultures, like we put Kenpachi Ramasama in Char Hollow, so, you know, that is now our, like, pseudo, like, little Korea, little Chinatown area, because when you guys go over there, it's going to be heavily Asian influenced, now that we put that in there.
Okay, yeah, now I see what you're...
But, like, most of, like, the big themes of the game really center around the supernatural and the idea of the class struggle, of, like, of you guys being poor and trying... Because the game doesn't give you options, really, to play nobility. Like, it says, like, when... Like, it says in the backgrounds that you can... You know, you might be... It doesn't encourage it, it sort of discourages it. It's like you... The idea is you really kind of want to play, like, this sort of scoundrel who's living in this shitty situation, is trying to either make it better for himself by being a thief or thieving because he wants to, but it's not really encouraged that you play somebody of high society.
Well, like, to me, it sounds more appealing to, like, make it there through the roleplay, and not just to start there.
Yeah, definitely. Any, go ahead, Dani?
I think that, like, I mean, with setting and kind of, like, more of that cultural stuff, I mean, we were playing this as a one-shot, so, I mean, I feel like you just don't quite get as much into it with one-shot, but I definitely think with a longer-term campaign, you can get into more of it, and it would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah. There's a really, if I, later on, I'll have to do a Skype screen share so I can show you the actual map of the city, because it's sprawling. Like, this city is flipping huge. It's ridiculous. And then they even have, like, they're starting in the PDF of this is still the alpha, but they're starting to, like, spread out from, like, the hub of the game is really going to be Duskval, but they're starting to kind of build out the outer world as well. So, like, there's a page in the PDF that talks about, like, the actual continents. Like, there's a few other continents that are in the world, and they have cities and have different practices, and so, like, there's story hooks there as well that you can get into. But...
Yeah. Well, like, lore-wise, are there people, like... You mentioned, like, there were people who were, like, fishing these creatures out in the Black Sea. So are there, like, regular hunters, according to the lore, that just go out and...
Well, because the thing is the iron ships, the quote-unquote iron ships, they're more for, like, going out to, like, not specifically hunt these creatures, but, like, going out and trying to do what little trade they can with the other cities. Because there are other cities that surround Duskville, and there are other cities, like, on the other continents, but they're kind of vague right now, but they go out and do trade, and then there are people who go out on the iron ships specifically to hunt these creatures.
Okay.
Like, they go out on the ship specifically because they know, like, if you bring a vial of a Leviathan's blood and sell it to a Whisper or some sort of religious fanatic, they're gonna pay top dollar for it. And that's one quick and easy way to make money.
Okay.
Yeah. But, like, there's nobody who really goes out like, at least not yet, anyway. I mean, I'm sure you could totally do it if you wanted to, but there's nobody, like, there's not a class that's, like, a demon hunter or something like that. Like, somebody who goes outside the city to, like, hunt the demons that are, like, walking and surrounding the barrier and stuff.
Okay.
Like, you could totally do that, I think, if you wanted to, but it's not, like, really a big established part of the lore yet.
That would be interesting to see, though.
I agree, yeah, totally. I mean, I totally, because the first PDF that I got, they only had the Thieves group book, and then the second PDF came out with the Hawkers, the Vigilante idea. So, the idea of playing this game where you're, like, a group of, like, mid-tier superhero badasses... It just kind of, like, playing that sort of, like, Batman, Daredevil, Spider-Man level superhero, as opposed to playing, like, the Superman sort of superhero that you get with a traditional Supers game. I think that'd be really interesting as well.
Yeah, well, this was definitely fun. I had a lot more fun.
Yeah, I like the
doing
idea
this.
of the group character sheet.
Right?
I would like to see how that, like, in a longer term
Well, yeah, 'cause-
game, how that plays out.
Yeah, well, because with the group character sheet, you get, like, one power that affects everybody in the group.
Yeah.
And then you get group XP from doing quests and stuff.
Yeah.
So, and then then you get extra, there's, like, little turf maps and stuff. It's pretty cool. But this probably, you might want to just put this part as, like, a third part of just where we do that kind of a post-mortem of the one shot, but this might just be 3 weeks worth of content for you right here.
I'll figure it out in post.
Yeah. But do we have any final thoughts about Blades in the Dark? Any final thoughts about how much fun it was, or maybe anything that you'd like to, besides lore stuff, anything else you'd like to see them add into the game, or anything that you guys would like to see them take out of the game, or anything like that?
I mean, I just want to play more just so I can get more experience with it is all.
Okay.
Same. Also, like, the adventures that could possibly happen with the pure stupidity that I have pretty much caused. Like, I'm the source of the stupidity. Everybody's around, like, they're like, okay, let's do this. I'm over here, like, shooting a gun at people.
You're the trigger-happy one. It happens. Mm-hmm. Every movie needs a trigger-happy numbskull in the group. Anything from Aaron or any of either of you fine ladies? Final thoughts?
I mean, I felt pretty happy with the system. I mean, I feel like in order to maybe, like, give, like, a larger critique, I would need to play it more, but okay. I definitely thought, like, as we said before, that it really combined the best part of a couple of systems and just gave you a really good playing experience.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, definitely something that we could play again.
All right. Oh, so 2 questions, and then I'll let everybody go. And these are 2 important questions. I think you hit on one of them. Is this a game... Because there's a lot of role-playing games that I've played where it's like, all right, I've played it once, I don't want to play it again. But I think the general consensus that you guys have is this is worth a second play, right? You think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna answer your question with the question: when can we play again?
All right. That is a fair thing. That is a fair thing. And then the second question. This is going to be more. This is more of a for a me question. Do you think is this something that do you think people, if you could throw your support behind it, would you? For me, I think this is a definite like go out get the pre-release material. This is a great indie game. I love it. Do you guys think it's worth a support or?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, they obviously have, as I said, lore is the main thing that I would be concerned about, but
Yeah.
that's easier to do than like this just being a complete shit game, which it's
Yeah.
obviously not.
All right, guys. Well, you know what? Like I said, John, I'm sending this to you once we're done editing it. We'll put it in. I'll tweet these at you so you can tweet it out to all the Kickstarter supporters. Kickstarter supporters, by the way, I'll just say this right now, shameless whoring. If there are other indie game devs who want us to do one-shots of their game and give it a little critiquey poo, send that to us all around the screen. You can tweet me. Shane_Barbosa. You can tweet evacstation at @e_vacstation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or you can email us, evacstation@gmail.com. We've got Facebook. We've got the Tumblrs.
No, we don't. Tumblr doesn't exist.
Well, we have
And
it.
it doesn't have to be just RPGs. If you have like a indie video game you want to try out, hey, we do Let's Plays.
Yep.
Check them out. They're
Yeah.
good.
If you want us to whore something else, we'll do it.
Yep, we'll whore it. I'll
We
whore.
have
I'll
Max.
look.
He's a whore.
Yeah, Max is a
We-
whore.
we-
Yeah, he is.
Have you seen us at the
Okay.
Dollar Shave Club?
Yeah, like.
Yep.
I mean, I like just doing it, but like, if I'm willing to get some fucking money out of this, like, guys,
See?
hit us up.
He's ready.
Yeah, but like I said, John, if when the next playtest version comes out, if there's any major changes, we might or if we want to end up doing this as a long-term campaign, you guys might end up seeing more of this content on all around the screen. If not, if we decide that maybe this eclectic group of adventurers play something else next time, we might play something more goofy. But for now, I think we'll go ahead. Let's get up. Let's all stretch our legs and get something to eat. And until next time, this has been Blades in the Dark. Hope you all enjoyed it. And if you didn't, remember to tweet Max and tell him how much you hate him.